Welcome back, everyone. Hope you had a great day. The market definitely did. Yesterday, we had a 5,000% runner, back to back days, because I think today we went 2,000 plus percent as well. I don't know, it was in a daze. And that's what the review is for here, daily trade recap. What did we see, and how did we act on it, and how could we improve upon that, right? So that's basically um, the narrative for all these videos. If you don't know who I am, hello, good game. Here I'm Hello Good Trades. But typically I'm making Magic the Gathering arena content on YouTube. Come play a match. And when I'm not, we're, tracking the charts day to day for years and years now. So hoping to not only hone my craft, but maybe distill a little bit of information to everyone who follows along. So yesterday was Octo, and this was the crypto-treasury for WorldCoin. Sam Altman was backed by BMRN, which was a previous mega runner within that crypto-treasury space, which is pretty decent. So that was crazy. So, we're kind of looking for more of that theme, and that's exactly what we get with CWD. And yesterday, we also seen an influx of Chinese stocks, just going absolutely crazy, popping off, whack-a-mole style, volume rotation, one then the next, but crazy, crazy runs. And we're going to talk about all that today, and maybe why that's happening. I do have a thesis there as well. So today, and look at this, it's just absolutely crazy, right? So what was the price on this? I don't even know. Where did we start? 3,000% on, not even on the day, on the morning session, just in pre-market. It's crazy. Yesterday we had a 5,000% on the day. So this is insane. We get a slice of it, not capturing it all. Maybe we need to readjust our scale out program, but it's one of those things where the market is not always like that. If you held through it, congratulations, you're an absolute god. I hope you enjoy your retirement. But for the rest of us, we're just protecting our position, scaling out profits as we go, and we chase this a little bit, right? So the news pops in pretty early. It's a link token, so when these treasury things come out, they're dilutive in nature, right? They have to raise capital to buy the crypto. Unless they've got the cash, right? So, or it's like a private investment, which sometimes is nice. So that's fine, but other times it's strictly raising capital through just share dilution, which is brutal. And then some of them are buying Bitcoin, some are buying Ethereum, which is great. Some are buying, maybe Binance or WorldCoin, fine. But some are buying Dogecoin, for example, or whatever coin, and they don't all perform the same, right? We know that the stable coins are less volatile, which is great, and these companies are taking a massive amount of risk and then placing that risk into a super duper volatile market with some of these plays, right? Not as much with others, but in general, still very much so. Anyways, Caliber completes initial purchase of Chainlink Link tokens as part of a digital asset treasury. And then, yesterday we had Octo go 5,000%. So everybody just sees this news and they auto slap it. I did as well when we see it holding trend. This is where we should have entered, right? We have someone preloading and then the news pop. Then it breaks down under VWAP and reclaims, right? So this red candle here, this green candle here, that's where we typically would like to enter the trade with a stop below that recent low before the reclaim of VWAP, right? We're late to the show, very much so. And, we see this candle pop up and then we have consolidation. And then on the second green candle, I'm like, okay, I can't wait. We got to get in on this. Probably could have waited till, closer to the 21. However, we have the conviction because of yesterday's run, right? The market's hot. Algos are turned on. Let's just set our risk. We're a little late to the party, but we can still get a piece of the pie. Take entry stop losses not only below this recent low, but that aligns with VWAP, a key level, as well as our 21 trend line, which is where we are holding support. So that's a perfect stop. We're a little late, but we still can enter the trade appropriately with our risk managed. We get our 1-to-1 right away, 2-to-1, 3-to-1, 4-to-1, super quick, and then our 5-to-1 on that first peak, which is great, you know. That's a 200% play off our entry to our last exit. Of course, from our entry to the top, because I don't know how you scale out, that would have been 500%, almost 480, which is great. Big piece of the pie there potentially. Our last sell at 30 and it went up to 56. So it is what it is. You know, you can't always do it perfect. Anyone who says they're timing the bottoms and the tops perfectly is, well, a genius. I don't know. You should probably follow them. Or think twice about it. I don't know. So CWD on theme, but the hype dies because this wasn't a private placement. This was super duper dilutive. And it's what a link token? What is that even? I don't know. So this is what you get. A complete sell-off. And that's why we protect ourselves on the way out, right? Because you don't necessarily know the euphoria in the market as at level 1000. You know, and this, it still kind of ends up where it should be at the end of the day. And this could have got there at any time. You don't know. You really don't know. So just scale out, develop a plan, protect yourself. We might adjust our plan after the last 2 days, maybe hold 2%. You know, maybe our last scale out is we cut the 3%, hold 2% for, Nirvana here. But at the end of the day, we're just doing our best and doing our best every day. That's what's important, right? Compounding all of this. So that was the big play for the day. Got that. I was basically done, because the thing is, when something's running this hard, it is a vacuum or a black hole for all of the other volume in the market. Because why play anything else than, the thing that's absolutely squeezing, right? So, it basically shuts down the rest of the day. And then, everybody made a bunch of money. So they start squeezing micro cap China stocks, which is like whack-a-mole. Because they're preloading, then, gets the pump, then they pull, and it's like blows up the order book, and it's just very, very dangerous. It's not my style. I don't like it. Similar to penny stocks, but it's what happens. It's a theme of the market. When you get big runners, all of a sudden, here comes up the China stocks and all of their friends as well, right? So, let's talk about them though. China with no news. STEC. Because these are running like crazy as well, and shouldn't be totally discounted. So yesterday afternoon, this gaps up from 60 cents to 360. That's all just insane right there. Holds the 200, right? Kind of breaks down, but reclaims, and then goes from, from the low of that, $1.78, but the reclaim, let's say $2 or $3, all the way up to $7. Like, that, what? Like, that shouldn't happen. Okay. Speaking of what shouldn't happen, DSY, this was like thousands of %, right? So, what was this? Closed, and someone was preloading this. They knew, and that's the danger. Is like, it's when this group of people pulls the plug, right? So they preloaded it last night. China's hot. Goes from $1 to $2, 100% move. That's crazy. That's really good. But then gaps up from like $2 all the way, to $40. That is a wicked gainer. But look what happens, right? Because all of these people who preloaded are pulling the plug, and they, that's a market sell. Actually, it would just be a low limit sell that melts the order book down. It probably wouldn't be a market because we're in pre-market, but just melting the order book, right? So every single buyer that was here is now bag holding because it never revisited here. And these sells were buy orders here. And that's why it melts it down so hard, because it was massive sells and there wasn't enough on the buy side of the order book to support the sell side. And that happens a lot when things are preloaded because now the sell side is much greater in comparison, right? And you know what happens to a China stock? It liquidates. That's why we don't like to play them. MGIH is another. It's kind of popped yesterday and then again this morning, but it's like, look, this is why I don't play with it. It's like, A, there's no structure to play. Like, where's your entry model? And then B, they're just all dying anyways. But then we have some China stocks with news, which typically I don't care for. I'd rather play ones without, but earnings, and we go from $2 up to $8. Must have been good earnings. Could you imagine? And then QMM was actually, this is the one that was like turbo halted all day, right? It had like a hiccup in the morning, right? But died. And it's like, okay, classic China. But it got picked up again in the afternoon. Like, and each of these is a halt. Like, there's so many halts here. And then halting down as well, right? And then again, all afternoon, just halt, 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 halt. And then big halts making these gaps. It's just crazy, right? So what did this stock start at today? Yesterday, closing at $13. This morning, maybe an average price here of 16 or 17. And then it went all the way up to $300. Are you sure? They announced strategic expansion into cryptocurrency and blockchain AI solutions. I don't get it. So it's like the algorithms are just set to buy everything. Very interesting, right? That's all we have for China, and then we can kind of get into something with more substance, because I don't really like to play any of the China stocks. If you do, it's just lottos. ISCP. PC? CP. No. PC. I have this backwards. And even this, there's no structure to play here. But we get those halts. Halts, 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 halts. And it halts down. It's just like, it's very hard to play this. Getting in, getting out is brutal, right? And it's easy to get stuck in something because it's only unhalting. Like, it's not even a full minute that it's unhalted. It's like it unhalts and it's like 1 second to 5 seconds and it's rehalted. And it's like, wow, another order not filled. I guess I'll wait here for another 10 minutes to try again. And it's how many times in a day can you do that? It's pretty brutal getting your orders filled when it's like this. But that's just the market today. And even this, 60 cents up to $3.60. Very crazy, but getting hit down hard every time, which is pretty brutal. So fairly dangerous. Nothing I really like. And this was a crypto-treasury as well. So it's kind of on theme with Octo, with CWD, which is why I think it gets slapped up like this. And then, of course, we're comparing. It's not just that, right? It's layering it. We've got a micro cap here, 3.4 million, 200 million news, which is multitudes higher, which is going to drive a lot of volume when people see it. However, it's going to be dilutive, which is bad in the long run. But people see the headlines, the algorithm sees the headlines, and here we are. And we see that a lot, where these CWD is a great example, where we're running in these euphoric highs. Until reality sets in and it's like, oh, this is actually not great for the company long term. And then AST is something we've seen after hours here running, which is pretty decent. So they're looking to do a merger with Strive, which is pretty decent. And I don't know, we must have drawn this gap on the 1 day. But we filled it. We filled the gap, baby. So we get into the gap, retest the gap, which is nice. And then we hit the upper band, which is exactly what you want. Enter the gap, retest lower band is what was resistance is now support, and we ride it up to the upper band. That's beautiful, from $7 all the way to $9.50. Really good stuff there, and I guarantee you that's a gap on the 1 day from right yonder, right here. That's going to be a void in liquidity, inefficiencies in the order book that never were interacted with really nicely. So the market maker's always looking to clean out those orders, right? Make sure that everybody's getting filled, and it's already done it a couple times, which typically I don't care for, but if I was in this, I'd be taking profits on the upper band of this gap, right? This would be our sell zone right up here, just to confirm, scale out, protect ourselves, the classic shenanigans. And then GameStop is offering a special dividend, which is interesting because we've seen SOGP, NBY, UUU all offer special dividends in previous weeks that we played. We're aware of it. We know what's market trend is happening. We know what the theme is. And so this is interesting. Those were like 500% runners, two of them. The other was 100% runner. So let's see how this plays out for GameStop. We have more on that in a dedicated video. Check that out if you're interested. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be back again tomorrow. I hope you have a great night and a good day trading. We'll see you soon. Don't forget to leave a like, drop a comment, and subscribe to the channel for more trading content.